Welcome to season 4, episode 6 of the Gym Girl podcast. Today, we want to focus on, are you doing the same cardio for too long and when it's time to switch things up? Hello, Gym Girls, and welcome back to another great episode of the Gym Girl podcast. Of course, I am your host, Waneka Tessie, a natural bodybuilder, a fitness enthusiast, and someone who believes that fitness should evolve as you evolve. So let's remember the things that we've gone over so far. We've talked about what cardio is, whether you should do it before or after lifting, how to avoid overtraining. Should you do fasted? Is that even worth your time? But today I want to talk about something I hear all the time. How often should I change my cardio routine? Some people change their workouts every week because they're afraid their body has gotten used to it. Others do the exact same workout for years without ever making adjustments. So which approach is right? And so let's talk about it. So do you really need to confuse your muscles? You've probably heard someone say that you need to keep your muscles guessing. So here's the truth. Your muscles don't get confused. Your body adapts. And that's exactly what you want to have happen. You want that to happen. That's a good thing. When you first begin walking 3 times a week, your heart muscles have to work harder because it's a new challenge. After several weeks, your body becomes more efficient, and that's called progress. The answer isn't to throw away everything you're doing. The answer is to continue giving your body an appropriate challenge. So now let's talk about what is a plateau. We've all been there. I've been there severally. So a plateau happens when your progress slows or stops despite being consistent. Maybe you see that the scale isn't moving when you go to weigh yourself, or maybe your endurance isn't improving, or maybe your workouts feel too easy and you might see that your heart rate isn't getting as high during the same workout. That's what we call a plateau, and it happens to everyone. So this is not a sign that you failed. It's just a sign that your body has adapted. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing when you know that your body is functioning the way it should. So how do you know it's time to change your cardio? Here are some few signs that I look for. Okay. If I see that my cardio feels effortless, so if you're barely breathing and never feel challenged anymore, it may be time to increase the difficulty. So that doesn't mean making it harder. Sometimes it means making it different. You're bored. And let's be honest, if you hate your cardio routine, you're less likely to stay consistent. So fitness should challenge you, but it shouldn't make you dread showing up to that workout. Sometimes switching from treadmill to hiking, dancing, swimming, or cycling is enough to make exercise enjoyable again. I know I do this quite often. So your goals have changed. So what happens when your goals have changed? The cardio you do during off-season muscle building phase might look very different from the cardio you do while preparing for a bodybuilding competition. So as your goals change, your training should change too. So here are some ways to progress your cardio. Okay. One mistake I see people make is thinking progression only means doing more time. So there are several ways to make cardio feel more effective. You can increase your walking speed slightly. You can add a small incline. You can increase your resistance on a bike. You can walk a little faster. You can add one more cardio session each week if appropriate. You can improve your consistency before increasing intensity. You don't have to double your cardio overnight. And I've made the mistake of trying to do this and got burnt out. So you want to have small improvements over time. Here's what I do as a bodybuilder, as a natural bodybuilder. I don't change my cardio just because I'm bored. I change it because my goals have changed. When I'm focusing on building muscle, my priority is recovering well enough to train hard. But when competition season approaches, my cardio gradually increases as part of a structured plan. So a lot of this is intentional. It's not emotional. And I've talked about stop punishing your body if you overeat the night before. This is not what it is. I'm not adding cardio because I had dessert. I'm not punishing myself because the scale didn't move one morning. Every adjustment I make has a reason and a purpose. What you don't want to do is don't fall into the more is better mindset. In my season of this podcast, I've talked about uh, several times that it's important that if you overtrain, it's going to burn you out. So when you hit a plateau, please don't immediately double down your cardio. This doesn't mean it's always better. Sometimes the answer is simply improving your nutrition, sleeping more or better, lifting with greater intensity. And sometimes it's just being patient. And a lot of us aren't patient. So don't assume the cardio is always the missing piece. We just need to do a little bit differently in our routine. And one of the biggest thing is consistency. The truth is the best cardio routine isn't the newest one, is the one that you actually keep doing. And I've learned that consistency is going to be everything else you try. You don't need a brand new workout every Monday. You don't need habits that you've seen on Instagram. You want a habit you can sustain. And you will notice that progress is built by being consistent. I've been a jogger girl since I was a teenager, and I will still jog. I don't try to sprint or do more than that. Here's my challenge for this week, gym girls. I want you to evaluate your cardio routine. Ask yourself, am I still being challenged? Do I actually enjoy this workout? Does this support my current goals? Am I changing my routine because I need to or because I'm impatient? And I want you to be very honest with yourself, because sometimes our bodies, they do need new challenges, but most times it just needs more consistent. So how often should you change your cardio routine? If your goals change, your body adapts, or your routine no longer serves you, you can change your cardio. Don't try to do variety of things just because. Make changes with purpose. Remember that fitness isn't about doing random workouts. It's about following a plan long enough to see results. So thank you so much for joining me for this episode 6 of the Gym Girl podcast. Next week, I'm going to answer another important question. Can walking alone help you lose fat and improve your health? I'll discuss why one of the simplest forms of exercise is often one of the most underrated, and why you don't have to destroy yourself in the gym to make meaningful progress. So until next time, keep lifting, keep moving, keep trusting the process. Remember, the best workout isn't the hardest one. It's the one that you can stay consistent with. Again, I am your host, Juana Katesi, and I'll see you next week on the Gym Girl podcast.